Now, today's session is all about strategic focus and looking at a business from a strategic and marketing perspective and how to scale. Okay, go ahead, Harry. Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, so I've got one at the moment. I'm looking to stack. It's just it's turned into flats. It was a development deal that was just brought to me and said, "Do you know anyone for this?" It's a London investor who's bought in South Wales, massively overpaid. He's come down to the property. He's seen it. He's not happy with it. He wants to get rid of it. I've got a buyer lined up as well. It's just I'm struggling to stack the construction because it needs a new staircase. I don't really know how to do all that.
Jump on a video call with me, and I'll bring a builder on the call.
Okay.
And then we'll give a quotation.
Okay.
See, the point I'm trying to make for you, Harry, is that because you're not focused with any business, it doesn't really matter what kind of business you're in, what strategy you're focused on. Okay. Yeah. If you are not focused and the first and the second deal is always painful, you got to go through that difficult part to be able to get to a point where you can do 10 deals.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The problem is, first of all, it's the focus, strategic focus, which means that you're focused on one thing and one thing only. Yeah. And the fact that everyone in the industry knows you by that.
Yeah.
Not by a million miles. So since you've been with us, right?
Yeah.
You know, I want to do this and I want to do that. And have you stuck to one strategy? That's my question.
Not so much. I've stuck to the networking. I've done that every single day.
Sorry,
but
you've stuck to?
Bring in, well, at least 15 people into my network a day.
But they don't know what you do.
Yeah.
How will you monetize that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at the network that I have. I'm able to monetize every aspect of it. Yeah. I had someone call me yesterday out of the blue, right? Completely out of the blue, saying, you know what? You had recommended us a few people. 2 of the deals have closed. Here is £400 for you. £400 out of nowhere. Do I really care about 400? Obviously no, but do you see my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's the strategic focus and saying, I want to get this bit done, like one thing and one thing only. Okay. Yeah. Now coming to finding deals. Okay. If you register a specific criteria, if you are focused on one criteria first, and if you register with that criteria on all the platforms, I can guarantee my life, you'll at least get between 2 to 10 deals a day in your inbox when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. The ground does not say static. Okay. People don't just sleep the next, don't sleep overnight and wake up the next morning thinking they're going to do the same things. Okay. They want to move. They want to make things happen. They want to sell properties. They want to buy properties, and things happen every single day. Okay. People go through divorces. People go through, someone dies in the family. There's all sorts of things happening in the world. Okay. Properties come to the market every single day, every single minute. The question is, are you registered on that specific search for you to get notifications in the first place? No. Okay. And then focusing on that strategy and growing your network with that strategy. Okay. Doesn't mean you can't do other things behind the scene, but people know you as Harry who does flip deals in Wales, or land deals in Wales, or development deals in Wales. It doesn't really matter what it is. Okay. The question is, are you focused on one thing and one thing only? No. And then you are positioning yourself in the market with that. Yeah. Okay. And that means the whole market. You know exactly what's coming into the market. You know what's exactly being sold in the market. You know exactly what it costs to be able to get a renovation done. Either it's a cosmetic renovation, either it's an extension. You need to be able to get to that point where you know all of this. Okay. And it doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been with us, right? You've seen the process of the Slough project that we're working on. Okay. Yeah. I've shared the process of some of the Wembley ones as well.
Yeah.
Why have you not dug deeper? And I'm saying this with a lot of respect. I'm not saying this in a wrong way. Okay. Why haven't you dug deeper to understand the process? Okay. It's about strategically focusing and saying, I want to do this one thing and one thing only. Yeah. I did not start saying I want to do 10 things.
Yeah.
Even though I do 10 things now, but people still know me by one thing, and that is the finance bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Even though they know I can do other things, that's pretty obvious because I've got to that point. Okay.
Yeah.
But I did not start, I promise you, I did not start with 10 things.
Yeah.
I started with property finance. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's when I started to scale. When that started to scale, I got to a point where I said, okay, you know what? If you're looking for a builder, I've got builders in this region. Are you looking for an architect? I've got collaborations. I did that like in that format, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Okay. Now I'm actually going to take you. So your challenge at the moment is finding deals, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually going to take you through a process which will incorporate you finding deals as well as scaling your business. Okay. But that only can happen when you actually focus. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Lydia, can you hear me as well?
Yes, Jack, what's up?
Guys, this is very, very important. What I'm about to share with you will literally change everything about the way you do business, and not just the way you look at any business, but the way you do business. Okay. Okay. This is a process. Okay. Harry, down to you. When you write something on social media,
yeah,
you have to at least add value about 10 times before you can ask them to do something for you, the 11th time. Okay.
Okay.
When I look at your post and they have low engagement, is because most of the time you're asking them to do something. Are you looking for an architect? Are you looking for a builder? Are you looking for a deal? Are you looking for this? You're asking them to take action while you've not added enough value to their life. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. When I do these events, free events, right? It's in marketing world, it's called the front end product. Okay. Yeah. You have the front end product, you have the back end products, and I'm going to create a value ladder for you so you understand how to scale a business. Okay.
Okay.
And like I said, I'll incorporate the fact that you need to find deals as well.
Okay.
Okay. So unless you've written about 10 posts adding value to your potential prospects, you can't ask them to do something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can you see that I go and write motivational quotes, I do live videos, I do interviews, I do podcasts, I do all sorts of things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone can go on my YouTube channel and sit there and watch it for hours. I think my average is like 3 hours plus 4 hours, something like that, for one person watching that.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm adding enough value to a prospect's life before I can ask them to buy something from me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are not doing that.
Yeah.
It's called the front end product. It could be a book, it could be a guide, it could be a video series, it could be a webinar, it could be anything. It doesn't really matter what it is.
Okay.
But that front end needs to be based on your strategy and not all over the place. Okay.
Okay.
The other day I sent a guide how to create a brand. Did you read that?
Which one?
It was actually in the group. I put it up in the reps group. Scroll up.
Was that the one with all the words?
Lydia or someone here, could you please point it out to Harry, that guide? So they're going to point it out to you so you can pick it up. Okay.
Okay.
That guide used to be my front end product, free guide.
Yeah.
In my consulting business.
Okay.
If you read that guide, you're going to get tons of value there.
Okay.
Okay. You could practically read that guide and say, I want to work with this guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta have, it's called either front end product or it's called a lead magnet.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Choose the one. Yeah.
I'm going to share with you the whole process. Okay. Be prepared with this. Okay.
Okay.
If you have not added at least 10 times value before asking a prospect to buy from you or to take action, you can't do that. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah.
You got to add at least 10 times value before you can ask a prospect to take action. And that action is towards your lead magnet. That's a free product.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That could be a video series, that could be a guide, it could be a book, it could be a webinar. It doesn't really matter what it is, but it has to be free, and you should be able to give it away digitally.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Once you've done that, so you've added 10 times value before you even ask them to download your digital version of the lead magnet.
Yeah.
Then you ask them to take your your lead magnet and read it, watch it, whatever they want to do with it. Okay?
Yeah.
From that lead magnet, now you ask them to buy something that could be worth £40, okay, £39. I'll give you an example. Okay? You could prepare a guide in Wales saying, here is an example of how to invest in Wales, the best strategy, how you can get good return on investment, a guide, 20 pages guide. Here it is. How much can you charge? £39. Do you think you'll have out of the 600 people, you'll have maybe about 10 people paying for that?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think they'll pay for that?
Yeah.
Again, remember, it's a numbers game, right? 600 people aren't a lot of people. You need tens of thousands of people. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
But let's say the 600 people that you have, do you think maybe 6, 10, 20 people, 30 people will buy that guide?
Yeah.
Okay? Whatever that number might be. I don't know what that number could be for you. Everyone is different. For me, if I had 600 people, I'd probably have about 30 people buy.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, 30 people buying a £40 guide, how much is that? 1,200.
1,200.
Okay? A very hypothetical example. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you've added lots and lots of value to bring them in.
Yeah.
You've given them a free guide.
Yeah.
You've given them a digital version of your knowledge.
Yeah.
In a digital product, which remember, it's a passive product. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes on to your landing page. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't know the difference between a landing page and a website, it's a major difference. A landing page is completely different from a website. A website is your presence. A landing page is one single page where they can download your guide for free.
Yeah.
When they do that, they're taken to the second page, which is, hey, buy my, whatever it is, right? Your second guide or second video series, which could be £40.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You're going to see all of that. I've done this many times for our business as well as other businesses.
Yeah.
Okay. Even on Jack Dawhra now, my personal website, if you go, you can download the free guide. You can buy my book from Amazon. Okay. And I used to have another guide, which was £40. I've removed that for now. Okay. But I'm actually going to apply the same process in pen as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're going to observe all of that. So let's say out of the 600, let's say if it was me, if I had 600 people and at the moment I've got well over 10,000 people. Okay.
Yeah.
At least 4 or 5% would buy the second layer of the value ladder. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the first layer, which is your free guide. You have the second layer, which is your digital version of whatever product it is. Okay. It should not be no more than 30 or 40 pounds. Okay.
Okay.
Then you create another layer of a digital version, which is going to be 200 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
It could be 100, it could be 200, but no more than 200, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a product that gives everything that you know in a digital version. Okay. It could be a video series of 30 hours. It could be a written guide of 1,000 words, whatever that might be for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's say 30 people bought or 20 people bought the second value ladder product.
Yeah.
Do you think out of that 2 or 3 people would buy the third layer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. From that, you sell your actual service, which is your property deals.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sell something that's worth 0. That's your lead magnet. On the same landing page, when they download the guide, it takes them to the second product, which is 30 or 40 pounds.
Yeah.
When they buy that, it takes them to the third value ladder product, which is going to be something like 100, 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And from that, you sell your actual service, which is your property services.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, by this time, you've added enough value to their life they become a lot more loyal to you. Not completely loyal, but a lot more loyal to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So with the first lead magnet,
Yes.
what do you do? How do you publicize that type way? How do you?
It can be a digital product. It can be a guide, a video series. It can
Sorry.
be anything.
How do you advertise it then? The first product. So say it's a guide. Do you post that once a week?
No, it goes onto a landing page.
Yeah. But how do you tell people about the landing page?
You share the landing page like you share everything else.
And would you do that like once a week, or would you work once a month?
It depends. So I would phase it. I normally tend to phase marketing efforts. Okay. So if you are available all the time to sell, people switch off.
Yeah.
If you observe me, most of the times I'm not available. Okay.
Yeah.
If they call me for my service, so remember there are layers of services. Okay.
Yeah.
Your front end product does not need to be available all the time. Okay. You open it for 24 hours urgency and you close it, or for 48 hours and you close it.
And by front end's the first one, yeah, the lead magnet.
It's the lead magnet. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You open it for 24 or 48 hours. You create the urgency and then you close it.
Okay.
Your main service is separate from this.
Okay.
Okay. So coming from your, for example, the front end product, you open it once a month for 2 days or 3 days or whatever that might be. You promote like crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
24 hours open, 12 hours left, 6 hours left, 3 hours left, 2 hours left. You keep promoting. Okay. But once it's closed, it's closed.
Okay.
Then that landing page is closed. You open up maybe after a month. Okay. My marketing is always phased every month.
Yeah.
Okay. Once a month. Okay. That's your lead magnet. Then your second value ladder product. Then your third value ladder product. The fourth one becomes your sourcing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But remember, by that time, these guys have heard enough from you to be a lot more loyal towards your expertise.
Yeah.
You need to become the expert.
Okay.
From their perspective. But you can't be the expert if you are not focused on one strategy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to know everything. You just have to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the prospects. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to know everything. This is a question I've been asked many times in my consulting career. Okay. That do you have to know everything? No, you don't. You just have to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of the prospects that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, when you, let's say you do your sourcing services, simultaneously, you can do your investor days. Okay.
Yeah.
They can be once a month. They can be once in 2 months, once in 3 months. That's entirely up to you. Okay.
Okay.
Start building a waiting list for that separately.
Okay.
So when you open up your investor day, people are already waiting for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you do these. So you have the front add value on social media, videos, interviews, events, all sorts of things that you watch me doing it.
Yeah.
And then you do your front end lead product for free.
Yeah.
Then you have your second value ladder product, which goes from 0 to about 30 or 40 pounds, no more.
Yeah.
Then you have your third ladder product, which is more like everything that you know on a digital product.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have the fourth one, which is your service.
Yeah.
And then you have the fifth or the sixth one. Okay. Within that incorporated is your investor days. What will you bring on investor days? You can bring all the deals that you get in your email box to them and present it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you're getting 2 a day, by the end of the month, you should get about 60, 70.
Yeah.
Can you negotiate maybe 10% of them, 6 or 7?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can. If you can't, you need to learn maybe more negotiation skills from me. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you negotiate those 6 or 7 deals, that's once a month investor day.
Okay.
Okay. And you only maybe need to sell 2 or 3 out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that going to bring you 10 grand?
Yeah.
Okay. That you have 10 grand and then you have this little bit of money coming in from from the launch of these digital products?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a reason it is structured like that. It's called value ladder.
Okay.
Okay. And you need to create a value ladder. So let's say someone calls you and says, you know what? I'm not ready to buy as yet. I would like to learn more. You can just tell them, you know what? Here is a 40 band product. Would you like to buy that? So every time you get a call or a message, you've got something to sell.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time when someone calls, you can either give them the lead magnet, which is free. When they take the lead magnet, do you think they'll be more inclined towards buying your second product?
Yeah.
If out of them, some of them would be more inclined towards buying your third product.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when they buy all of this, you're actually building them towards buying your main service.
Yeah.
And then from that point, you're building that credibility towards coming to investor days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense? It builds on top of each other. Can you see this, guys? This is a value ladder. So you take them from one step to the second step, to the third step, to the fourth step. And the fifth step could be, you want to get to that point where you have your mastermind. Okay. You charge monthly, I don't know, £1,000 a month, £2,000 a month, whatever. In States, there is loads of these masterminds. In fact, there is a few in UK as well. They charge something like £1,000 a month.
What's a mastermind?
Okay. So mastermind is when you bring some serious investors into a room.
Yeah.
And they are masterminding, bouncing ideas of each other to scale their business. I'm just giving you a hypothetical example. For you, it could be a retreat. You know what?
Yeah.
Come down to Wales. I'll show you my country, as well as I'll share with you everything I know about property and Wales.
Yeah.
And you charge £2,000. Okay.
Yeah.
£1,000 goes in expenses. £1,000 comes to you. Let's say you bring in 20 people. That's 20 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think people would like to come down to Wales to enjoy as well as learn?
Yeah.
If you have the right kind of sales skills and you create the right kind of value ladder, they will.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think there are people out there who want to spend 5 or 10 days with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I did a retreat now, I could easily fill it.
Yeah.
Do you think I can charge £2,000, £1,000 towards expenses, £1,000 towards my time?
Yeah.
I bring in 20 people, that's 20 grand.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But all of this will not happen if you're not strategically focused.
Okay.
Okay. As well as the fact that you need to start to gain more knowledge, go more in depth into whatever is happening around you. So for example, the flip deals that you see or the development deals that you see, you need to dig deeper and understand how pricing is done, how everything is done. Remember, you need to remain 1 or 2 steps ahead of your prospects.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have this value ladder, which is first of all on social media or your WhatsApp groups or everywhere else that you see, you put out content. Like you observe me putting out content.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a podcast. I have a YouTube channel. Almost hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I do live videos. I have these groups. I am talking to people on WhatsApp every day, literally adding value, literally left, right, and center, pretty much everywhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
From that point onwards, I ask them to come and download a guide. Do you think they do that?
Yeah.
Majority would. It's a free guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Out of them, some of them would buy my second layer product, which is going to be, let's say, £40 or £39. Do you think some of them would buy?
Yeah.
Because I'm adding value. Remember, I'm adding so much value to their life. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you think some of them, out of them, would buy the third layer product?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you the average. Okay. If let's say you bring in 1,000 people,
Yeah.
about 40% of them would download your guide, free guide.
Yeah.
Out of the 40, about 10%, so 4% out of so 40 people would buy your second layer product.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
40 into, let's say 40, that's 1,600 out of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Out of the 40, about 6 or 7 people would buy your third layer product.
Yeah.
The third layer product is £200. 6 people or 7 people is £1,400.
Yeah.
That's £3,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then from then, you sell your services to everyone, all the 1,000 people, not just people who've downloaded. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because some people may not be inclined towards buying these digital products, while they're more inclined towards maybe directly working with you.
Yeah.
Okay. But they'll work with you. And like I said, I keep insisting, I cannot insist enough, is when you're focused on one thing and one thing only to start with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think by now you know more about property than most newbies?
Yeah.
Do you think you know more? How much more do you know?
A fair bit, I'd say.
Fair bit, yeah. Do you think some of the newbies would be interested in what you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, simultaneously, you're doing these investor days, as well as you're bringing these deals on the table for people to buy, for prospects to buy.
Yeah.
Do you think you can do, to start with, one a month? If you focus, like if you really focus, do you think you can do one a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would that bring you £3,000, £4,000?
Yeah. If I had the deals, so again, it's me finding the deals. Yeah.
Yeah, finding the deals would happen, Harry, if you do the viewings, if you really focus and get registered everywhere. If you have, let's say, 1,000 estate agents in Wales, I would be registered with most of them, at least most of the serious ones anyway.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you registered on Zoopla with your criteria?
In Swansea, but not outside of Swansea. So
That's
I think
fine.
I need to open that.
Are you registered in Swansea?
Yeah, yeah. But Swansea, you get, in the criteria where I look for flips, you only probably get about 3-4 a week.
That's fine. 3-4 a week is quite a lot. 3 a week is 150 a year. 4 a week is 200 a year.
Yeah, but then it's also very saturated. So everyone's on it.
What do you mean? Yeah, everyone is on it. Then you have the opportunity, right?
Yeah, yeah, but because of that, we get a lot of London investors coming down, and they're overpaying, so the returns aren't there, and they're taking the roast down to 15%.
My question to you is, why aren't you one of the agents selling those properties?
What, an estate agent?
Okay, why aren't you the one who has the deals selling to these London investors? Because you're not focused. Okay, now, not just being able to find these deals from estate agents, why aren't you doing your digital marketing based on, if you are a landlord and looking to sell, I can help you sell?
Yeah. Okay.
Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
Do you think if you started doing hashtag Swansea, hashtag, landlords, you'd attract a few people?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight, Harry.
Yeah.
It happens over a period of time. The problem is focus on one strategy.
Yeah.
Why aren't the landlords coming to you to sell than going to other agents?
Yeah.
Why don't you have written on your car, we can help you sell your property within 4 weeks, within 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Why don't you have it on your car? Why aren't you running ads? I'm actually going to take you to ads bit as well. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you start running ads, and let's say you spend £100 to bring a landlord deal in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you start doing ads and you start testing them over a period of 3 to 4 months or 6 months, you'll get the ad right, which means that you'll have the landlords approaching you, giving you direct to vendor leads.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why don't you have deals straight with landlords so you can sell them easily?
Yeah. Okay.
So you're saying 200 people came to view a property. If you generated a single lead, let's say at £100, from Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, do you think you can make £3,000 from that lead?
Yeah.
Or even if it costs you, let's say 200 or 300 to generate a lead, do you think it's worth it?
Yeah. But how do you go about getting the right price, because you need the right price from a landlord. If you're going with a landlord, you need the right price, don't you?
Comparables in the region. Comparables in the region.
But you kind of need it below what they could go with an estate agent.
What do you mean below?
So say the house was 100K. If I was passing it on to an investor, I'd need it like, what, 85K?
Why?
To
You
be
just
a
say, you no,
be a
Harry,
B&B deal.
Harry, you're missing the point. When there is demand in the market and there's 200 people coming to view the property, you don't sell it at market value, you sell it above the market value.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you have 200 people coming to view a property, why would you sell it below market value? It's demand and supply.
No, I meant as a sourcer though.
It doesn't really matter if you're a sourcer, you're still an agent.
Yeah.
There's no difference between a sourcer and an agent.
Yeah.
If you have 200 people coming to view a property, Harry,
Yeah.
why would you sell it cheaper?
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was your property and you see so much demand, why would you sell it cheaper?
Yeah.
You just think, you're not thinking right. You don't understand the demand and supply balance here.
Yeah.
Okay. You said to me that your challenge is finding the properties.
Yeah.
The challenge is finding the properties. First of all, why are you not registered with all the agents, Rightmove, Zoopla, and all the online portals to get the deals from agents?
Yeah.
And second is, why aren't you doing your own marketing to find direct to vendor leads?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Me and Lavanya, we actually walked to a high street last week to find direct to vendor leads, because we were looking for pubs for conversions.
Yeah.
Okay. You're just not strategically focused to be doing all this in the first place. How do you think these estate agents find deals direct to vendor?
Leafleting and stuff like that.
What else?
Online ads. Yeah.
What else?
Word of mouth.
Personal relationships. Relationships. Okay. These people are based in a specific area, specific postcode, and most of the landlords in that region either know them through the high street presence or know them because they've been in the market for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Okay. But if they were focused on 10 other different locations, do you think they'd have the positioning to get the direct to vendor leads?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would they or would they not?
Yeah, if they were, yeah, they could get direct to vendor leads because they've got a presence already.
They've got a presence already, but how have they created the presence?
Through advertising and stuff like that.
Why aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying go and spend loads of money on marketing, but there's loads of free marketing that you can do. Hashtags on LinkedIn, hashtags on Facebook, hashtags on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're going to literally have people approaching you if you just do it the right way, the value ladder that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you have the right kind of value ladder, the value ladder that I just shared with you, okay? And if landlords knew about this, do you think they'd approach the local estate agent or you?
Yeah, me. Yeah.
It's just that you're not strategically focused to create assets. I call these value ladders assets in the business.
Yeah.
You're not creating the assets in the business to attract business in the first place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you go now, for example, on the PEN official group on Facebook and click on files, you're going to see about 2 or 3 different files. These are all lead magnets. I did them long time ago. They're probably sitting there forever. But they're lead magnets, and people actually go and find these, read them, and then get in touch with me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? One of the lead magnets is things to look out for when buying a HMO or a B&B property. It's a spreadsheet. Just tick boxes. It took me no more than 10 minutes to prepare. Okay?
So you can have a couple of lead magnets.
You need 100 lead magnets. It doesn't really matter what it is.
Okay. And then you push them out. Say if you had 4, you push each one out once a week for 24 hours.
Once a week, once in 2 weeks, it doesn't really matter. It's entirely up to you.
Okay.
But then they gotta be all different in nature.
Yeah.
But focus on one strategy.
Yeah. Okay.
So one could be what to look out for when buying a flip deal, what to do to be able to find these yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're actually giving out all the secrets.
Yeah. Okay.
Let them decide if they want to find one themselves or they want to buy one from you.
And then
Okay?
use them words you put up last time I was down, like the secrets, put them into the presentation.
No, it goes on the landing page.
Okay.
Presentation is completely different from a landing page. A landing page is when you go on it, you download a digital guide, okay?
Yeah.
And then it takes you to a second page where you buy the second value ladder product.
Yeah.
And then the third one, and so on and so forth. Now, let's say someone goes on your third value ladder product, it's £200 or 195, and he says, you know what, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you can offer him another value ladder product which is neither above nor below? It's on the either the left or the right.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Okay. Let's say you're focused on flip deals. Would you like to learn what to look out for when buying a flip deal, a project that you can convert and sell? Okay.
Yeah.
Second would be what to look out for in an estate agent, the one you want to deal with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
People want to know what to look out for in an estate agent before kind of going for that deal in the first place. Do you think people would be interested in that?
Yeah.
Some people would be. Can you see I'm going neither above or below? I'm going sideways now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right or left? Yeah. Do you think some people would be interested to know how much would it cost to paint, refurb, plaster a property, 3-bedroom property?
Yeah.
Do you think people would be interested to know how much would it cost and what kind of process does it take to do an extension, a rear extension?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think people would be interested to know how much does it cost to put up a new bathroom?
Yeah.
All these are your side products. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can charge £10, you can charge £20, you can charge £11, you can charge £12. So see, the point I'm trying to make is that if someone picks up the phone or sends you an email or sends you a text message, you've got something to sell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're all focused on one strategy. And then you are creating your personal profile around that strategy to a point where actually landlords come and approach you rather than the local agent.
Yeah.
If you were doing all of this that I'm sharing with you, the value ladder, going from from low to the higher value ladder, and then sidewise, both ways, left and right. If you add all of this on a landing page and you open this once a month or once in 2 months or twice a month or whatever that may be, do you think you're going to attract a lot more landlords, a lot more agents around you?
Yeah.
Guess what? Most people have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about just now. Okay, this is called scaling your business to a 7-figure and 8-figure. Okay, but it's actually creating assets for your business. If you got to a point, let's say in 5 years' time, and you want to sell this business, and you show this to a prospect who's looking to buy your business, all of these are assets created within the business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had, let's say, 20 lead magnets, and you had about 10 of these different value ladder products, or 20 of these different value ladder products, going upwards, sideways, all of that, and they're all in a digital format on your platform, on your landing pages, and people are buying these passively, and you keep doing this networking and marketing over the next 5 years, do you think you'd get to a point where you'd wake up in the morning and you'd have 10 people buy your guide for £40?
Yeah.
Or your digital product?
Yeah.
And that's £400 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. And then out of that 40 people, you got another 10 people buying your second value ladder product, or another 5 people buying your side product, or whatever not. And then you wake up with your appointment booking completely booked in, either with landlords or with, for example, investors looking to buy from you.
Yeah.
Most people, and I'm talking about 97 to 98% of the people in this world, have absolutely no clue how something is positioned or how the marketing value ladder is created.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are actually, by knowing what you know now, from what I'm sharing, you're actually one of the top 3%ers in the world.
Yeah.
Are you with me on this?
Yeah.
Okay. But you gotta create these assets within the business. They don't happen overnight. You're not gonna be able to create one product in a day. It's gonna take you 1 day to create a guide. It's gonna take you another 2 or 3 days to create the next guide, or your digital product, or your video product, or your webinar. It takes sometimes 3 or 4 days to create a webinar.
Yeah.
But you gotta do this work to create assets that actually eventually will lead to bringing in more revenue for the business.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For every person that you attract, or sorry guys, hold on. So for every 100 people that you bring in, if you do this over a period of time, you'll have at least 30 to 40% people buy from you something or the other over the next few years. They may not buy immediately, but when you keep nurturing that relationship, they will buy from you over a period of time. But remember, guys, once you've created a digital product, that's just passive income.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it can't happen if you're not focused on one strategy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It's creating value ladder and creating assets within the business that will lead to attracting more people into the ladder, buying more products from you, leading to a point where they'll actually buy the properties from you, eventually attracting more landlords. Remember, everything is built on top of each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Attracting more landlords eventually to give you the properties and say, hey, you know what, Harry? I think you are the best in the industry. Here is a property. Can you buy it from me? Can you sell it for me?
Yeah.
Do you think by that time, by creating assets, do you think you'll have more credibility in the market to sell more properties?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't just get there in a day. It's a lifetime process. Okay.
Yeah.
I could create the whole cycle of 20 plus products in a year.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 5 years. It takes a year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Your back-end product, so you have your value ladder. So this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 could be a side product, step 5 could be a side product, step 7 could be a side product. It doesn't really matter. But then you have your main service, which is your sourcing. And then you can add another value ladder, which could be property finance. Does that make sense? Because remember, when they're buying properties, you can recommend property finance. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Another value ladder could be, for example, suggesting property builders.
Yeah.
And then another one could be architects. Another one could be whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Party war surveys, quantity surveys, and all sorts of things, all sorts of consultants, project managers. For example, someone like Jasim.
Yeah.
That's your another ladder, value ladder product.
Yeah.
You need to know 10 of me, 10 of Jasim, 10 of Lydio, 10 of Lavanya, all of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If I give out a shout out now, I know more than 20 builders just in London.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to have those collaborations in place.
Yeah.
Can you see that I'm stacking the value ladder on top of each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your most expensive product needs to be somewhere in the region of 100,000, maybe even more, but let's say 100,000. So when you sell one single product, that needs to be worth 100,000. You're just not going to get there in a day. It's going to take you at least 2 to 3 years. But that only tends to happen with strategic focus.
Yeah.
My question to you, Harry, the biggest challenge for you at this moment is finding deals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you start creating this value ladder, not just that you'll attract more investors, not just that you'll attract more landlords.
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, do you think you're going to attract more landlords to come to you and say, can you help me sell this deal?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Use hashtags. And I have not even touched on the ads as yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say your main service, as in your property sourcing business, let's say the average property deal brings you 3,000. Very bare minimum. It's probably going to be like 4,000 or 5,000. Okay. But let's say 3,000.
Mm.
Okay. do you think, what do you think is the cost of bringing in a lead that will buy from you if you were running ads?
100, 150?
200, 300, 400? You know what? One thing I've learned in property, or in fact in any business, is the person who can spend the maximum to attract a lead wins the game. Does that make sense? The business that can spend the most to attract a lead wins the game.
How?
I'll give you an example. Let's say if I can spend £500 to attract a lead that will buy from me, and you can spend 300, who is winning the game?
Me.
I'll ask this question again, Livio. Oh, sorry, Harry. If I can spend 500 to attract a lead who will buy from me, and you can spend 300, who is winning the game?
I can spend 300 and the lead will still buy for me?
No, my question is,
I'll
rephrase my question again, okay? Let's say my marketing budget allows me to spend 500 to attract a lead.
Yeah.
And your budget allows you 300.
Yeah.
Who's going to attract more leads?
Yours.
Fantastic. I'm winning the game.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get to a point where you can spend the maximum money in your business to attract a lead? By having back-end products, that means the top of the value ladder chain, as the most expensive products.
So then the back end, the front end products kind of build up the budget.
Exactly. The front end products, which are passive, build up the budget towards to sell the back end products. Does that make sense? So if, let's say, if you were making passively this 2, 3, 4, 5,000 pounds from digital products, which are very passive, once they are created, they are created. Now you've got this money coming in that you can spend more on running ads that will attract more leads into your network, into your investor database, helping you grow your investor database, leading to a point where they can buy your main product and the more back-end products. Remember, your front-end product and the value ladder, and then you have the back-end products, they need to be more than one as well. So one is your sourcing, for example. Second could be your mastermind. Third could be your personal consulting. You know what? I'll come and spend a full day with you and your team, and I'll show you exactly how the process works.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge you £10,000.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you called Rob Moore and said, can you come and spend a day with me? What do you think he charges?
100 grand?
No, he charges 20 grand.
Oh, is that?
Okay. My question to you is, you're just not going to get there if you're strategically not focused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If someone called me today and said, how much would you charge for a single day? I have a specific value in my mind.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to pitch. Okay. But that's your back-end product.
How much would you charge?
I will skip this question. Okay. Because in my consulting days, I was charging a certain kind of money. Okay. And that had different levels of services. Okay. My point to you at this moment is that until you don't create assets in your business, you're just not going to get there. Your back-end products could be your retreats, your mastermind, spending time with you. For example, the White Box does retreats, right? Lloyd and the other guy, Andy, they do retreats. Okay. I don't know how much they charge, but they do retreats. Okay. You could create all of these products at the back end of everything else.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How can you get there? That's the question.
I need my front end products now, I think.
By focusing on one strategy first.
Yeah.
If you give me a guide on flips, then I know you're the flip guy. If you give me a guide on land, then you're the land guy.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get there until you're focused on one strategy. And then you can build on top of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If let's say I'm making all of that passive income and I'm investing into ads and I'm bringing in leads that will buy my consulting services, my masterminds, my retreats, my subscription-based model, for example, if they are buying all of that, do you think I can get to a 7-figure income?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to show you in the next few years. Okay.
Yeah.
Even now, I'm sitting on double six-figure income. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's because I've created that network and I've created the value ladder, but in a slightly different way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because remember, my positioning is based on PE and as a technology platform and as well as a finance broker.
Yeah.
Yours is different or could be different.
Yeah.
But you're just not going to get the traction if you don't focus on one thing and one thing only, and you build from that point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just creating the network isn't going to bring you money. I think you know that by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's about creating assets, creating the value ladders, and monetizing that from that point onwards.
Yeah.
Okay. If let's say you were doing 2 viewings a day, that's 10 viewings a week.
Yeah.
Either through estate agents, through Rightmove, through Zoopla, through direct to vendor leads that you will generate through your personal branding. Do you think you can package 1 out of those 10?
Yeah.
Just one in a week? I think that's very, very easy. If you're not being able to do that, you need to come and ask me.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You said that there is a lot of demand, but there's a lot lesser supply of direct to vendor leads.
Yeah.
Well, that's based on your personal branding. That depends on your relationships with the local landlords. How many local landlords do you know in Swansea?
I don't know, about 70, 80.
And do you have a good relationship with them?
Some of them, not all of them. Not all of them are good, but some of them I know.
My question to you would be: would they come to you when they want to sell?
No, probably
That's
not.
because you've not created enough value in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Why do people come to me to ask me questions? Because I'm creating enough value in their life.
Yeah.
Okay. Through podcasts, through videos. Remember, all of that front end products, which are absolutely free. So, loads and loads of training for absolutely free.
What I was going to ask is, do you reckon, what sort of percentage would you say personally BMV? Because I've started looking at BR deals.
Harry, you still didn't get that bit. If there is high demand, why do you need to bring BMV deals? You don't need to.
No. What I mean with that is, everyone down here is trying to do BR, and because of that, the strategy's kind of not working as well because people are piling so much money into it. The end values aren't there. So I was going to say, do you reckon it's worth changing the strategy now and just looking for BMV?
Everything works if you know how to make it work. Do you think there are people not in Wales and Swansea making money from flip deals? I'm pretty sure there are loads of them. There are loads of them.
Yeah.
Why are they making money? Because they know how to make it work.
Yeah.
You just haven't learned how to find the patches which are profitable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You haven't learned how to find the patches which are profitable, Harry.
Yeah.
Because you're too focused on networking and not focused on knowing where the profitable deals are.
Yeah.
How many viewings have you done so far since you've been with us?
30, 40?
In Swansea. 30?
30, 40, yeah.
Do you think that's enough?
No.
Till the day you haven't got to 10,000 viewings, Harry,
yeah,
you're not an expert.
Yeah.
Not as yet.
Yeah.
10,000 viewings. If you do 10 a day, that's going to take you 3 years.
Yeah.
10 a day, every single day for 3 years, and that's going to make you an expert of Swansea.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've done about 35 in 3 months, how long will it take you to do 10,000? Probably 2 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Networking isn't just going to bring you money. Networking is just a way to bring in more leads.
Yeah.
You need to create a system to monetize that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lydio, my question to you.
Tell me, Jack.
If you were adding, let's say, 5 people in your list every day, do you think you can do that?
Yeah. And that's something that I've been focusing a lot more. I've been trying to expand and add value. I've really been swarmed, as you said, like with the guides. I've been working on 2 guides so far. I've been trying to lay out the foundation in terms of like my book and everything, but I still want to wait on that, have a little bit more, when it comes to the books, at least, to have a little bit more backup when it comes to what I've achieved, right? It will make for a much better seller, I guess you could say. And then I'm also getting in touch with several companies to kind of have a prospect of how to add value and why would you choose me over other people as well. You know, so for example, I've had at least almost on average about 1 call a day with a different company to see how I can work with them and what they can do for me, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
When it comes to like the services I can deliver. So yeah,
Okay.
5 people a day, great.
So if you were adding 5 people a day and you were doing, let's say, 6 days a week, that's 30 people.
Yeah.
That's 1,500 people by the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
And if you were doing that for, let's say, 4 years or 3 years or 4 years, it doesn't really matter. That, let's say 4 years, that's 6,000 people.
Yes.
Okay. If you had 6,000 people, you'd be sitting on easily. If you created this value ladder and all the assets in your business, you'd easily be sitting on $250,000 in income. Probably more. Okay.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is that to create this value ladder, not just that you need to do networking. So it's almost like 1 or 2 hours a day, and then 1 or 2 hours a day viewings, and then 1 or 2 hours a day, creating these assets in your business, and then another 2 or 3 hours a day doing other bits and pieces in your business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If you were focusing on networking all day, that's not going to monetize. If you were focusing on creating assets, that's not going to monetize because you just wouldn't have the network. If you were not doing viewings at least 2 hours a day, you're just not going to be able to bring in the leads to be able to sell those properties.
Right.
And obviously the business is going to need another 2 or 3 hours of other bits and pieces of focus. Does that make sense?
Yes. You need a sweet spot.
That's how it is structured, guys. I think for a long period of time, most people are missing the pieces of puzzle. You're doing one thing or the other and not necessarily. Now, doesn't mean that every day is going to be like that. Maybe one day could be completely viewings. One day could be completely just fully networking. Another day could be completely whatever it is that you want to do, maybe just generating direct to vendor leads. Okay. Just literally going and finding landlords who are selling properties. You can find them on Gumtree. Landlords trying to sell their properties on Gumtree directly. Have you seen that?
Just slightly, yeah.
Pick up the phone, you're practically calling the landlord himself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Finding landlords, download the list of HMOs in your region. All of them landlords. They probably have more BTLs as well behind the scene. Does that make sense? They are the same landlords who will have more BTLs. They're the same landlords who are doing flips. They're the same landlords who are doing probably land and development deals. Not all of them, but some of them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Letters, direct to vendor letters. Okay. You want to get to a point where you have all these value ladder products, which is bringing you enough money so you could start doing leaflets as well.
Yeah.
Investor days, very, very important.
Yeah.
Every product has to be phased. You are not available all the time to sell, because if you are, people will switch off. It has to be phased. You're open once a month or once in 2 months or once, twice in a month or whatever that may be for you, what works for you.
Yeah.
You need to be open for 24 to 48 hours, and that's all there is to it. Creating a sense of urgency.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. I've actually been talking to you about it to Justin. We were supposed to have it on the 29th, but again, we kind of got set back on a few things.
I understand that. Yeah. Look, things come, things don't happen. I did my last event over a month and a half ago. My next event is end of August, 2.5 months gap. That's fine. I have Slough project to manage. I can't do events every month.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make for you is that I did 2 podcasts the other day. Did you see that? In a single day, 2 podcasts. Okay. Then I've been doing interviews. I've still been doing live videos every now and then. I still go and write on Facebook pretty much every day or every other day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Guys, not everything is perfect. Business is all about chaos. Okay. But if you get the whole process, it's almost the way I call it, getting the whole ecosystem right. If you have one piece of the puzzle done and not the other, you're going to struggle. Which is what's happening with you, Harry, for example. You've created the network, you don't know how to monetize it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Lydia, for example, you are bringing these leads in, these deals in, but you don't have the numbers, investors database to say, you know what, if one person doesn't buy from you, another one will. Does that make sense?
100%.
At the back of your mind, you both are getting desperate. My understanding is because you don't have the whole ecosystem in place.
Yeah.
If you get all of this in place correctly, you will get there. But it has to be created over a period of time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
My question to both of you, in fact, is, what is your next step?
You want to go first, Eric?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Harry.
Okay. I'm gonna write 3 free products. I've got 2 written down, 2 ideas. And then I kinda wanna monetize the network by looking at co-sourcing with compliant people. Because I've got loads of people looking to invest in South Wales ready. But if I don't have the deals, maybe it'd be better for me to pair up with sources with deals.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
I think you should speak with agents directly in that region or find your own direct to vendor leads.
Okay.
Why don't you pick up the phone on Gumtree and call people?
Okay.
Okay. Creating front-end free products, doing your content creation on social media, bringing them to your landing page, 1 product, 2nd product, 3rd product, 4th product, 5th product, side products, your back-end products, all of that is all a value ladder as well as assets of your business.
Okay.
If you struggle with any of those aspects, you all come and ask me the detail.
Okay.
Okay, but you got to do the work yourself. I can't do the work on behalf of you. I don't know Swansea. Okay,
Yeah.
you come and tell me, why would someone invest in Swansea?
What now? Ooh.
No, I'm just saying you can write a guide called why invest in Swansea.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
why would you invest in Swansea? Okay, bring all the stats of the past, how much capital appreciation has happened in every category, what kind of investments are being happening in Swansea, what kind of renovations, what kind of larger projects are happening, what kind of companies are moving to Swansea, what is the best parts of being in Swansea.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes about a day, no more. That's your
Yeah.
front end product for free.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be a written guide, it could be a video, it could be whatever you want it to be.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and then from this, remember, to be able to sell a product, regardless of what product it is, doesn't really matter what product it is. Let's say it's your free guide, or it is your 2nd value ladder product or 3rd value ladder product. You need to create a webinar to automate this. Okay, so we are creating this webinar as we speak. Okay, to automate, so that means when you send this webinar, let's say this webinar is open for 24 hours, register here, free webinar, people register. From that webinar, you sell that product. It could be your guide, it could be your book, it could be your investor day, it could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Your sales happen in a specific time, and you're not open to sales all the time.
Yeah.
At least for not most of your products.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So only don't. So say you're doing it, so don't sell all the time.
No.
Only sell very rarely.
Short window. But remember, before you open that short window, you've created enough value to your prospects live.
Yeah.
So they are ready to buy from you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So, and with the posts, with the add value 10 times before a sort of advertising post, do motivation ones count? Is it literally anything but selling? So motivation, then like
it does.
value. Okay.
It does. Anything that you write counts.
Okay. So you should really, if you're doing 3 times a day, you should be posting really on the 4th day. On the 4th day, that's when
no, it doesn't really. Frequency doesn't matter. Well, it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Posting at least once a day as a bare minimum, you can do 10 times a day.
Yeah.
Okay. But it needs to be more visual.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that?
So it needs to grab them a bit more than what I'm doing at the moment.
Exactly. So if you go on my YouTube channel, for example,
yeah,
and click on videos, and you're probably going to find the last video where I interviewed Muzzy.
Yeah.
Have a look at the thumbnail. Have a look at it as we speak.
Yeah, I'm going to load it up now. It was in the red script, wasn't it?
Go to my YouTube channel. In fact, it's got 137 views. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at the image.
YouTube.
Just go to my YouTube channel and click on the thumbnails. Can you see that?
Yeah.
If you want to write something on Facebook as well, try to make it more visual. People want to see faces. People want to see who is saying that.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy all the time, but guess what? That's how it's got to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions at this stage? I actually initially wanted to take Muzzy's business because it's got a traction. I could actually do this presentation with numbers. Because you don't have numbers to show me, it was slightly difficult for me.
Yeah.
Okay. If I look at a business and if I have numbers, they can actually show you how to take the existing numbers and then scale.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will do the next one with Muzzy and I'll record that as well. Okay. Do you have any questions at this stage, Harry?
So if I'm gonna probably put get an A3 sheet and write out like a plan over what we discussed today. Can I send that over and can you like just double check?
Yes, I'll have a look. Yes.
Perfect.
Lydio, what is your next step?
My next step, Jack, is really focusing on kind of creating a better system for my business. Also, when it comes to now, I've gotten the email newsletter kind of like a little bit more regular. I've decided on also how to I've also decided on how to kind of structure it. So, for example, once a month, I will not send out any deals, but I will send out like recommendations for like reading, etc. And that's just kind of like my way to add value and just keep people engaged as well, you know.
Why don't you write those guides?
They're just books. They're like
my question to you, Lydio, is that instead of sending them reading recommendations, why don't you read that book, write your learning from it, create a guide and send it through, and put that learning in the context of your business.
Okay, fair enough.
So let's say you read a book and you want to add value to your prospects or people who are on your list.
Okay.
Why don't you take the learning of that book, apply it to the context of your business, make either a guide or a video, and then send it to your prospects? Does that make sense?
Yes, I am in the process of doing something similar to that. I actually do have 2 guides that I'm currently writing down, and they're to help landlords or investors with kind of their journey, whether it's One is towards making a property presentable, and one is towards making understanding how HMOs work from a commercial perspective and other things from a compliancy perspective as well. So that's just kind of I know that's mostly what people ask for, and from my experience after seeing HMOs, I see that there's many who don't really do well when it comes down to like.
Let me share with you a couple of things here which I think I might have missed. Okay. The first one you said make it presentable.
Yeah.
Who's your potential client?
Really anybody who's looking to rent their property.
Rent or like a property investor, right?
Yes. So
why would a property investor be interested in how to present a deal? Customer avatar.
Not how to present a deal, but rather how to maximize their profit when it comes to renting.
That is a good guide. That is a good guide. Yes. So my point is
basically how they manage the cosmetic side of things for their property so that they can attract customers better.
That is a good guide. My point was that you got to have a very clear customer avatar in your mind. Whatever product you create, you need to know exactly what your prospect or your client is looking for.
Mine is residential primarily, yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Your client is, let's say at this stage, a property investor. What is it that they find challenging? What is it that they want to read? What is it that they want to watch? What is more compelling? What is more interesting to them? What is more entertaining to them?
How to be on top of their area when it comes to renting out their property.
Why not?
They want to smash the competition and be able to squeeze every little penny at the least cost.
Yeah. And these guides don't need to be 200 pages, guys.
No.
Okay? It can be 10 pages. It can be 5 pages for that matter.
I'm doing 10, 20 more or less.
Yeah, 20 is too many. I think 5 or 10 is fine.
There's a lot of images, so there's not really much to read.
Okay. But they can be very action-packed.
Yeah.
So here is 10 tips or 20 tips, or here is a story created in a story format so it's more readable, so on and so forth. Okay? 2 or 3 guides. What is your next step in terms of creating a product that you can sell? I don't know, your second value ladder product. What can be that?
So as you mentioned it as well, it's something like the investor days, right? To just kind of also maximize, because creating a good network, a sizable network is great, but you also want to have a more organic network to grow. And I feel like the investor day is something that does just that. It's not very lucrative, but
my question, Lidio, is what is your second value ladder product? It can't be your investor day.
Okay.
Your investor day is your marketing effort towards your main service.
Okay, one of the things that I've noticed, and it's one of the reasons why, for example, with the investors that I've been talking to primarily and the ones that I've retained, is that they constantly struggle when it comes to the network side of things, right? So their power team is something that they struggle with. And one of the things that I've been trying to create is why I'm telling you that I'm talking to businesses on a daily basis, is that I'm trying to create this nationwide, well-respected, well-reputable power team that I can also benefit from, that allows to give a much more verticalized experience. And it's just like, hey, look, you come to me, but I'm not going to leave you stranded. You come to me and I'll get you in touch with absolutely everybody. You don't need to do anything.
That's your side product, remember. My question is, what is your second value ladder product?
And now you're
I'm asking you to dig deeper into your business.
Okay.
Okay, remember, look, Lydia, one more thing you got to remember. I'm not directly going to benefit from your business. Indirectly, I may. Directly, I'm not going to benefit from your business because you're building your own brand, right?
True.
By me asking this question, I'm helping you have more clarity on your business so you can grow.
100%.
You need to know what is your first value ladder, and then the second value ladder, and the third one, and the fourth one, and the fifth one. Till you exhaust all the possibilities, you got to create that.
Okay. So
till you exhaust all the possibilities. It can be as simple as how much does it cost to have a new kitchen in Leeds? How much does it cost to have a rear extension done? 3 meters, 6 meters. How much does it cost to get a bathroom done? How much does it, what kind of returns on investment is the norm in Leeds, and what can you get them?
So like another guide, you mean?
Yeah, I'm just giving you examples. Can you see every single one of them as a guide?
As I said, the way that I've structured them right now is I have one when it comes to maximizing for cosmetics side of things for the rental, and another one is a guide for HMO landlords starting out, kind of top to bottom.
My question to you would be, if you now there's one that's coming right in my mind, who someone will pay £40 for. I will pay £40 for it. Okay.
Okay.
How to maximize your return on investment in you're in northeast or west?
Northeast so far.
How to maximize your return on investment into a HMO in northeast?
Okay.
Do you think some people will pay £40 or £39 for this guide or this video presentation?
Well, they are looking for a way to maximize, so they're probably going to be willing to spend a small investment if that's going to give them a lot more in the long run. Because it's like, I pay £40, but if that allows me to add an extra 5 or 10 grand, then it's a no-brainer.
In fact, your title of that guide could be how to save yourself 20 grand in your first HMO.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Guide price £40. Do you think people will pay £40 to save 20 grand? That's just a hypothetical example. But if you write 20 grand, you have to prove in your guide that you can save 20 grand.
Yeah.
You can write 10 grand. How to save 10 grand on your next project in Northeast.
Okay.
Do you think people will pay 40 grand for that?
Yes, because people want to maximize, and that's just like I mean, as you said, £40 for 10 grand, that's a brainless return on investment.
Good deal. That's a good deal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now your next product, which could be £100, £200, save yourself £500,000 over the next 10 years.
A pyramid scheme, you mean?
Wait. There's a reason I'm going in that direction. Save yourself £500,000 in the next 10 years if you are investing in HMOs in Northeast. 195. Do you think people will buy that? Yes, no?
A bit less. I would say about a third of the people.
Yeah, that's fine. You only need a handful of people. You only need a small percentage of people who will buy that. The same guide that you're selling for £40, you just change the perspective of that over a long-term investment strategy and say, you can save 10 grand or 20 grand in one deal. Let's say you're going to do 40 or 50 deals in the next 10 years. It's going to save you £500,000. But you add more meat to that, which means that if you're charging 195 for a digital product, you got to have videos of 10, 15 hours. You're giving a lot of depth to it. Does that make sense? You're telling them stories of how you visited these properties, the kind of loopholes, the kind of things that went wrong, the kind of things that went right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Do you think people will value that?
Yes, but then from that perspective, you can also create a multitude of guides, say like for people who become like deal sourcers, people who want to start refurbishments and other things.
Lydio, my question to you is that, do you think you're building on top of each other?
Well, you can easily monetize all of your knowledge.
My question is, the videos that we are recording now, why do you think I'm recording these?
Okay, that would be a very hefty bundle for a business perspective.
My point is that I'm building lots and lots of digital products, which I can package and sell on. I'm not going to do that because I have a completely different strategy. Okay.
Yeah.
But do you see the point I'm trying to make?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do you think this video that we're recording now, people will be interested in watching this?
Absolutely. It allows people to kind of maximize their income with little investment.
if I code this video, I can't call this video, but I can call another video that I'm going to do with Muzzy, how to scale your property business to a 7-figure. Do you think people will pay £40 for this?
Absolutely. I think that people would
Again, my aim isn't to sell these products, okay? Because remember, my main strategy is PEN, okay? So I have a different strategy from what you guys have at the moment. It might change in future, okay? But there's a point I'm trying to make. You are creating assets in your business which you will use to grow your investor database and your revenue and your investor days, filling up your investor days faster, and at the back end of it, being able to sell more deals. And then from that point onwards, your back end products could be your retreats. Do you think, Lidio, in about a year's time, from this journey that you've been through in the past 6 months,
yeah,
in a year down the line, do you think you'll have enough knowledge to do retreats?
To do what?
To do retreats.
Retreats.
Which means that people can come and spend time with you on a holiday.
Yeah, more likely, yeah.
In the past 6 months, what you've learned, do you think you know more about property business than at least 80% people in this country?
Probably even more.
Probably even more. Okay. If you keep doing this for the next a year or so, do you think you'll know more about property business than at least 90% of the people?
More than 90, yes.
Those 90% people are your potential prospects.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because you're two steps ahead of them. Okay. Now you can go and sell a retreat or a mastermind at the back end of it and say, I'm going to charge £1,000 a month or 500 a month, whatever that may be, helping you grow your property portfolio. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But this is all got to be built simultaneously while you're doing deals, while you're selling deals, while you're doing deals yourself, while you're creating these guides, while you're writing the whole process, while you're creating digital products, as well as creating a personal brand. Does that make sense?
100%.
It's all got to be done simultaneously.
I also need to create a personal brand a lot more because right now I'm really focused on my business. But that's why I'm also part of the things that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting my YouTube, and I'm going to be doing a lot more kind of like free value add videos. Obviously, when it grows a little bit more sizable. I mean, if I think of it off the top of my head, I think that right now the most famous real estate YouTuber is probably Stephen Graham.
Okay.
And he's got about like a good 2 or 3 million subscribers, if not more. So he can easily get to 1 or 2 million views per video. Obviously, that's a very, very good monetization scheme to the point where you can easily make like 4 or 5 grand per video.
What do you think he started with? His first video, how many views do you think he would have got?
I think it probably took him. I think it probably advertised quite a bit, but I would say for him to get anywhere near to like even 10,000 subscribers, a bare minimum of 6 months. Bare minimum.
A lot longer. I can tell you that. Okay.
Depends on also how you advertise.
The first few subscribers are very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that you have to start somewhere and start to create this value ladder, and you build on top of all of this. Okay. Learn to generate your direct to vendor leads from networking, from creating relationships, from doing viewings, from calling people from multiple platforms, including Gumtree. It's not easy, but it's worth it, because you want to get to a point where you're actually making double 6-figure, maybe a 7-figure income. Okay. But you'll only get there.
Yeah.
You'll only get there when you actually start to follow this process. Does that make sense?
Of course, 100%. And I'm really, really trying as hard as I can to just kind of create a system, because I am a little slower on the uptake, but I do focus a lot on having it properly structured. Harry, would you be interested in starting a YouTube channel with me? That's not a bad idea, but I feel like when it comes to personal brand,
I would keep it separate. I would keep it separate. Because you'll have clash of interest at one point, and then you wouldn't know who to deal with.
Yeah, because as you said, it's like you want to be in
Keep
a
it
situation
separate.
where people think about you,
Yeah.
right, and don't think about you as a group. You know. So it's like when people think Harry, they must think of a certain person, and when people think Ledio, they must think of like this person as well. We have different business models as well. So collaborating is good, and it's not a problem. But building a brand together, in my opinion, is not as lucrative. It's like Scooby-Doo.
No, it's not. It's not a good idea. Building a personal brand has to be personal brand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm actually going to stop recording. Thank you for watching.